All right, looks like we are recording. Hey, my friends, it's Cornelius Austin. Look, I just want to say first and foremost, um, welcome to the MWR family, the Extra Digit Movement. I just want to congratulate you again and applaud you on the decision that you've made to really take a serious look at your financial situation and not just desire to have more, to have better, to live in an optimal level in terms of your finances. It's one thing to desire that, but it's something completely different to decide to do something and take action. So more important, I want to just congratulate you and applaud you on this desiring, and making a decision and taking serious action. So again, I'm going to hop right in. So this video will just kind of answer the question. All right, I'm enrolled. I've made a decision. I've taken action. Now what? So I'm going to share my screen and show you there's a welcome layout. 1 second. All right. Should be able to see my screen. I'm going to. Perfect. All right. So let's start with this equation. And this is the roadmap to executive director. Now, what is executive director? Right now, title, you just knew you're a QFD, a financial director, a qualified financial director. So what does ED mean? ED is like the first promotion. And that is when you start to build a team. So we'll go through this I'll be brief and concise and just use this as a guide to answer the question, okay, I'm in, now what? So number one, to start, to achieve your goals, you have to keep in mind this perspective. Our role, all we do is expose, meaning people that we know who may want to better their finances, improve their credit, minimize taxes, or really expand their cash flow. And again, cash flow is how long does my money last? You got to think about, when money comes in, and sometimes as fast as coming in, is going out, and sometimes even before it comes in is already got promised out. Let me close those other tabs there. Perfect. All right. So we'll start with this equation: exposure plus edification plus the experts plus education minus explanations and emotions equal enrollment. Let's go through and break this down. Exposure is our role. We're responsible for the first two. We expose people, but we have to edify the experts, and we have to bring prospects to an expert, to get them off of you, right? That's another training, but just keep this in mind. When you're new, easiest thing is when you're new, be new. It's okay to say, hey, I don't know all the information. In fact, you don't even want me to try to explain it to you because I have us both confused. Let me get you with the person who's helping me understand and learn the strategies. They know all the information, can answer all your questions. They're like the Michael Jordan or the Oprah Winfrey or some other iconic figure of our organization. That's what the edification part is. And that's gonna come in another training. Then you got two levels of experts. The expert that you will connect your prospect with, but then you also have the experts of MWR who will do the execution of the actual strategies. Plus the education, all we do is educate. We don't recruit. We don't try to get people in our business. All we do is provide financial education on the rules of the wealthy that were never taught in school. And the thing is, when people see that, we're looking for people who are like you, hungry and looking. Minus explanations, meaning explaining doing a whole lot of explaining of the concept and all of that. Minus emotions. In emotions, there you can't have your business. Brian, being the founder of Extra Digit Movement, often says this: having your emotions in business will put you out of business. Can't be any emotional attachment. Our role starts and stops here. All we do is expose people to information that will change their financial situation. We will want everybody to want to do better, but the reality is everybody's not. So you're going to have those you think that will look at it who won't. And some of the people who you never thought would ever give it a first look will be all in. So your exposure plus your edification plus the experts plus the education minus your explanations and no emotions will equal enrollment. Now, number one, let's start. Start with achieving your goals. Don't just set them. A goal without a plan or a date is just a wish. So we'll go through this real quick. First thing you want to write here is your MWR link to sign new QFDs. That's going to be www.mwrfinancial/ whatever your username that you chose. So most of us will use your first name and last name. So that's where you'll write that there because you want to make sure that you got that. And that's www.mwrfinancial.com/ whatever you selected for your username. Then on the next side to write down, actually write down your username and your password. So you'll have that. We don't have any way of knowing what it is. And I can't help you with knowing what it is or how to get back in. So we'll have that written down. First goal within your first 7 to 10 days is to hit ED or executive director. Now, what does that mean? In your first 3 days, we want you to sponsor, and that's basically averaging sponsoring. And when we say sponsor, that doesn't mean that you're paying for it. That's the word, the term that we use for, when you enroll somebody, right? It's called sponsor. So hitting ED is basically within 7 to 10 days. To hit executive director, that's 3 people, okay? Now, if you don't make executive director, it's not the end of the world. It's setting a goal, because the thing is, it's not the people that aim too high, is that a lot of times we will aim at nothing, so we hit it every time. So the first goal is short-term is to hit executive director with 3 people in your first 7 to 10 days. We help you do that. That averages to like 1 person every 3 days. Now, here's another equation for you. Exposure plus education plus execution. Now, if you execute on the things that we'll teach you, exposure plus education plus execution, again, minus those 2 things that will knock you out, explaining, you get burnout of explaining this. Let the system and the tools do the explanation. The tool is either the website, one of the experts for a 3-way, or one of the live conversations or profit parties that we do online. So exposure plus education plus execution minus explanations minus emotions will equal enrollment. Now, let's look at this. Let's just define your why. Answer this question. To make this business worthwhile, I'm willing to build it to blank per month. That's going to differ. Some people only want an extra $600 a month. Some people would say $3,000 a month. Some people would say $8,000 a month. But then here's the other side of it. Let's be realistic. I talked to some people like, okay, to make this worthwhile, like what would you say would build success? Whatever that figure is, write that figure there, because that will help reset and recalibrate those times where it can get a little challenging. Because let me say this, our business is simple, but I'll be honest with you, it's not easy. And there's a difference. Being simple it's simple to follow, plug and play. Everybody can put in numbers. Everybody can copy, paste text, copy, paste and send a text message. That's easy, or that's simple. But it's not easy because there are a lot of mental things. People have walls up, and a lot of, like I said, the making sure that you remove emotions, that can be a challenge. I mean, just being honest. Want to make sure we give you the goods, the bads, and uglies and set a realistic expectation. So to answer this question, to make my business worthwhile, I'm willing to build it to, and you put in whatever figure that is there. Now, I was starting to say, I've worked with some people, and when they got to this question, it's like, I'm willing to build it to $8,000 a month. Well, the question is, the most that they've made in a month, in some cases, like it's $3,000. So is it realistic to say, to make this worthwhile, I got to get this to 8 when the most I've made is 3? So be realistic there. Then the next question, answer this one. I'm willing to build this business. I'm building this business because of what? What is your why? Is it for retirement? Is it for your family? Is it to stop the pay cycle of living paycheck to paycheck? Whatever your why is, put it there, so that way when ink is put to paper, it creates another level of accountability. Now, next are 3 short-term goals. You see identified here and outlined as 5, 15, and 50. Basically, 5 QFDs or 5 people who enroll is $150 a month. Keep in mind, the monthly investment to keep your business going is $119. So 5 QFDs is $150. Now, we did say that 3 QFDs, and I'm going to clarify this, 3 QFDs is executive director. We built in a cushion because we don't want to set your ceiling or your floor as the ceiling. So even though you need 3 to hit ED or executive director, we set the goal at 5. Why? Because two will quit. And so you don't want to be in a position where you've got 3, you only have 3, and then one of them quit, and you're like, oh man. That's why we set the goal a little higher. At 5 QFDs, that's the minimum of $150 a month. Next goal, short-term goal, is number 2, 15 QFDs equals $600 a month. That's basically $20 a day. Then the third one is about 50 QFDs equals about $2,000 a month. So if your goal to make this business worthwhile is, let's say, $2,000 a month, then we can tie those two together. At $2,000 a month, you're probably going to have a team of about 50 people. And that's not people that you personally sponsor. That's people that you know that you sponsor, that they know that who enrolled, that they know who enrolled to build a team of about 50 QFDs. Now, let's start here to cement your why, because and that is starting with Equity Max. It's one of the easiest. It doesn't require any downloads or anything like that. You're basically just putting your information in Equity Max, and Equity Max will tell you, you put in all your debts, and it's going to give you 2 numbers. And one, we want you to put it here because that'll help you stay focused. It'll give you your debt-free year based off of all the information you put in. It'll tell you the month and date, the month and year that you will be 100% debt-free. Write that number here, write that date here. Also, it'll give you a millionaire, like a cash millionaire date. If you follow this plan the way Equity Max is to pay off your debts, it'll give you a date when you'll be a cash millionaire, have a cash a balance of $1 million in the bank. Write those figures there. All right. Now, to earn the momentum bonus is when you enroll 3 people within your first 30 days, you'll get an additional $150 momentum bonus. And that this note here again, 5 compensates for the 2 quitters. Remember, ED is really 3 people, but we're saying 5. Now, you get the momentum bonus of those 150 people. Not 150 people. You'll get the momentum bonus from 3 people. That momentum bonus, that first level, is $150. And as you see here, so you'll write the names of people you personally sponsor. So here, if you say you had John who enrolled, and now you also get paid a floor of $50 for each person that you personally sponsor. So let's add up the math quickly. You sponsor John. You sponsor Sally. Well, let's do alphabets because I forget the name. You sponsor A, B, C, D, and E. Well, remember from here with that goal, $50, that's times 5, that's $250 that you make on the sponsor bonus. Then when that happens within your first 30 days, you also make an extra $150 from the momentum bonus. So the 50, 50, 50, 50, 50 is $250 plus another $150, that's $400 that you just made in your first 30 days. Now, also when you go here, when you sign in, you're gonna see a ticking clock, and you got 30 days for the first level of the momentum bonus. So write that date. So when you enroll your first 30 days, it's going to give you a ticker to and a clock that's going to count down. Write that day here so that it'll keep you focused, so we don't lose sight of that window for hitting the first level of the momentum bonus. All right. Now, executive director promotion. You have to personally sponsor 1. That's where you would write the name here. So if it was A, you would put A right here. Now, the thing is with our company, your upline, your success team, we can also place people under you to help you get your executive to get to director promotion. Now, let me clarify though. Us placing a person under you is not the same as you personally sponsoring them and hitting the momentum bonus. You have to personally sponsor the people here to hit the momentum bonus. However, to get promoted to executive director, which is your first bonus, and I'm saying this is why that's important. Not your first bonus, your first promotion. So executive director promotion, once you hit ED, not only will you make the $50 for as a base for the people that you personally sponsor, but it also starts your first level of expansion bonuses of $10 per person. So let's say, what does that mean? So let's say, for instance, if you sponsored your first person, A, and if I sponsored F and G, and I placed them under you, you would put F and G here and circle placed. So with the one that you personally sponsored and F and G who I placed under you, you now qualified and just was promoted to ED, executive director, which means on the people that you personally sponsored. So if you hear you sponsored A, when A sponsors someone, you'll get that $10 expansion bonus on the people that you on your personally coded team. Let me say that again. You sponsored A, you made $50 here. You also write them here because you're tracking in this section your roadmap to executive director. So you'll put A here, you made 50 there, and you enrolled A, and I enrolled F and G under me, but I placed them under you. That qualified you, and now you're executive director. Once you hit executive director, you earn the additional $10 expansion bonus. So let's say that A, who you personally sponsored, brought in X, Y, and Z. Well, because they're in your organization and you're executive director now, you would make $10 on X, Y, and Z who were enrolled by A that you personally sponsored. I hope that makes sense. Okay. This section here helps you keep track of that. So as people are being added to your team, you just simply put in, did you personally sponsor them? If not, but you got to personally sponsor one to qualify for executive director. If I place 3 people under you, that doesn't make you an executive director. You got to personally sponsor one, and then I can place the other 2, or your success team can place the other 2. Now, let's talk about your daily guarantee. What triggers the daily guarantee, you'll hear a lot of us talk about this, our daily guarantee runs anywhere from $5 a day to $1,000 a day. $5 times 30 days a month is $150 a month. $1,000 a day times 30 days a month is $30,000 a month. That's on the daily guarantee. Now, here's how the daily guarantee works. You have to have at least one customer. And the customer is not a business associate or qualified financial director. A personal customer is someone who only wants the membership. They want the Financial Edge membership for $79 a month. When you have a personal customer and you enroll 3 QFDs, and this disclaimer here is important. Yes, these may be the same QFDs who qualified you for your momentum bonus, but sponsor as many QFDs as possible. 1, 2, 3. And the asterisks are for the extras. Remember, we're saying 5, in case 2 quit, that won't knock you out of the daily guarantee. You'll still have 3, at least 3 active QFDs, plus 1 outside customer, and that will trigger your first level of the daily guarantee. So let's put this in perspective. Having 3 business associates and 1 outside customer triggers that daily guarantee of $5 a day And every day you'll get a text message at around 5:02 Eastern Standard Time saying, congratulations, you've earned whatever that level bonus is. So it starts at $5 a day. That $5 a day times 30 days is $150, which makes your business self-funded. Meaning that 119 is covered by the 150, guaranteed. Now, the reason that Mr. House and then Donald Tosin did this is because they understand in this industry, it can be like this, up and down, and it can be hard to budget, especially if you're trying to, you got financial goals, trying to pay off debt, trying to pay off bills. It can be a little challenging if your income is going to fluctuate up and down. That's where the daily guarantee comes in. So that way it creates a floor that says a minimum with 3 active qualified financial directors and 1 active customer. At minimum, you're getting $150 paid on the 10th. And that minimum, that your business has been taken care of. Right? Now, special notes here. Your bank statement is going to show 2 separate transactions. It's going to show one for $79.97 and then your MWR back office of another $40. That's where you're going to see the 119 total, but it's going to break it up into 2 different transactions. So don't be alarmed if you see MWR for $79.97 and then MWR for $40. No, they didn't charge you twice. It still equals the $119.97. It's just broken up into 2 separate transactions. All right, now use this roadmap to ED to guide your business, and it will self-fund. That goes back up here too. Expose, educate, and execute. If you execute the things that's outlined on this page, it will self-fund your business. Now, be sure to upload your photo and create your social media recognition banner to showcase your accomplishments and pique more interest online at the edmrewards.com. Read the prospect and member sections of the FAQ. And let's look at scheduling your private Zoom, your private virtual Zooms. And you schedule 2 of those, and either myself or one of our other leaders will do the education, do the facilitation, and lead that conversation for you. You don't have to do it. Now, that's the 1-page welcome. Page 2 is on the 3-way text threads on how to edify. And you pique interest here by talking about cash flow, not income. Don't lead with the business because, you think about now, people are inundated with ways to make money from home. Ways to, you had the other things that have been going on, and you sell this or do this, or the gifting circle or the blessing loom or the susu and all that stuff. When you start saying business opportunity, first thing is going to equate people. Okay, I don't have time. It's going to take a lot of time. I got to sell something and I don't like selling. That's okay. I'm not interested. Well, if you talk about how to expand a person's cash flow using one of these phrases, have you ever heard of income shifting? Most people are going to say no. Have you ever heard of cash flow expansion? No. Here's the explanation of that, or the definition. Basically, these are the rules of the wealthy never taught in schools. Our organization keeps you from losing money to the big 3. Make the big 3 the enemy. Who are the big 3? The government, because it takes 1/3 of our money in taxes. We lose 1/3 in taxes. Banks, because we get in debt and they take the second third to replace the first third that we lost in taxes. That's why we get in debt. So we lose the second third to banks through interest and debt. And then the second third, the third third is, or the third of the big 3 is big business. If you think about, there's something on the calendar every single month that big businesses can have some type of promotion or sale around. You look at, we start in January with New Year's, February is Valentine's, March is spring break, April is Easter, May is Mother's Day, June is Father's Day, July, of course, 4th of July, August, back to school, September, Labor Day, October, Halloween, November, used to be just Thanksgiving, but then you got Thanksgiving, you got Brown Thursday, you got Black Friday, you got Cyber Monday, Tech Tuesday, and of course, Christmas is in December. So there's something every single month. So we got to help people understand. People are losing money to the big 3. government, taxes, debt with businesses. I'm sorry, debt with the banks and big businesses with all these sales and promotions. And so he said, I'm going to add you to a 3-way text thread for a soft intro. Deal? Now, here's where this triangle is so important. Here's you, and here's the person that you're talking to, your prospect. Well, you and your prospect, you all have a great deal of trust, right? But they may trust you, but they don't respect you when it comes down to you showing them a billion, a business opportunity in $1 trillion industry with $1 billion company. It's like, okay, you work in cubicle A, I work in cubicle B. We both drive a Honda Accord, and we've had conversations about having to wait to the next paycheck. So I'm not quite sure if I respect you, if you respect me in business when you know our financial situation from what you know is similar. That's why we've got to bring in an expert. Now, what you do as a QFD is you have to bring in an expert, but you got to speak highly about another business partner to where your prospect will want to talk to them and not you. And what your role is to bring two strangers together. Because now it's a whole lot easier for two strangers to conduct business versus, y'all would hear a lot that it's hard for friends. That's why, because they know your financial situation. Y'all know a lot about each other. And they just don't, there's the lack of respect when it comes down to business. That's why it's so important to bring in an expert who who invites them, does the Q&A, and we do that through a 3-way text thread, which we'll talk about later. What you have to do is edify. Listen, you don't want to talk to me. I'm going to introduce you to my mentor who's helping me learn and helping me and a ton of others learn and apply these strategies. He's like the Michael Jordan of our organization. She's like the Oprah Winfrey of our organization, or he's like the Warren Buffett of our organization. She's like the Michelle Obama. He's like the Barack Obama. Some iconic figure that a person would want to talk to would make time. Think about it. If I called you, or if you called me and said, hey, I just got off the phone with Oprah Winfrey. She wants you to be at her studio in 2 days at 9 a.m. I don't care what I got going on. I'm going to make arrangements to be at Oprah Winfrey studio at 9 a.m. Why is that? Because she's edified and held in a certain light because of her reputation, right? But people know Oprah, and it's like, okay, that's who I need to talk to. Then Oprah could tell them the same message that you could tell me, but because it's coming from Oprah, I'm more apt to hear it. So basically, the whole purpose of this triangle is to do this: to present the information in a manner that your prospect will look at it with an open mind. Because coming from you, we know each other's situation. But coming from an expert who they don't know, they can't judge. That's the whole purpose of this triangle, right? So we build a trust. And with the 3-way text thread, we'll talk about, but I did want to go over, So here's how it works. And I'm gonna do the whole thing so you can kind of rewind it back as you need. After piquing interest, you pull them in a text thread. And this explains what? Again, the 3-way text thread is your prospect's first exposure to cash flow expansion and income shifting. Why? Most difficult part about a business is getting your prospects to see it. Remember I said our business is simple, but it's not easy. That's what makes it difficult. Getting a person to the information. Because guess what? Everybody's busy. Everybody's plates are full. Everybody's schedule is jam-packed. But these 3-way text threads and calls are necessary to introduce the concept of the team effort instead of you trying to convince on your own. See, this keeps your prospects from overwhelming you as a new QFD with a bunch of questions. All you do is introduce, edify, or pique their interest, edify an expert, and make the connection with the expert. Now, how do you edify? You use the 4 personality types and phrases below to pass your prospects to a business partner or expert who's more experienced than you, because you got to get yourself out of the equation. Now, here are the 4 different personality types. You got the winner who's motivated by money. You got a spring who like helping others. You got a summer who loves to have fun. Then you got a fall who wants the details. So it's important. Now, this doesn't mean that everybody is one or the other. It's a hard, you're in the box of one. There are some that there are combinations, right? There may be a dominant personality type and a recessive. But you don't want to be talking to, and it comes back down to speaking a person's language. If I'm having a conversation with someone, a spring, who loves to help people, that may be like a guidance counselor, a therapist, a mental health therapist, a police officer, a school teacher. They don't select a career or interest based on the money. But then if I'm talking to them about, yeah, you got to meet this guy or this young lady, she's making a ton of money, or he's helping people, he's made six figures, he's on his way, he's made six figures, will make $1 million in a year. The question that a person who likes helping people is going to have is, okay, how many people he had to step on to get there? Because it's not connecting with them. So that's why we incorporate all four and we sprinkle it in on the introduction. It's somebody that's positioned to cash flow an extra 5 to 7 figures, who's helping a ton of other people earn double digits, love to have fun, exposing people to the rules of the wealthy, knows all the information that can answer all your questions about income shifting. I just sprinkle all four of those to where now, regardless of the personality type, something will resonate with them and connect with them based on how they are. Let me say this. If you're talking to everybody the same, you're doing it wrong. You can't talk to everybody the same, because different people will decode the message completely different. All right. And so this walks through how to do that. Now, the third part on this, on staying plugged in, these are the resources, right? And I'll let you read through these resources, how to shift your income, how to increase your cash flow, MWR Financial, the Shift My Income Now. Guys, when I say it's an easy system that's been laid out, it's an easy system that's been laid out. And so this more or less is the page for your resources to stay plugged in for training and learning. Last page here in this pack is the MWR Financial Profit Party Sheet. So when we have a live profit party, this is what you'll send to the people, your family, friends, prospects, whatever. And you have an expert or facilitator who will go through this, and they just fill these in. Guess what? We even give you the cheat sheet. We'll give you the answers. So when you get up and feel comfortable, we'll walk you through, coaching you through being able to facilitate. You'll have the cheat sheet on your end, and you'll send this out to prospects, and you're like the smartest person in the room. Let me come off screen share. All right, so we've gone through that welcome layout. Again, I'm going to share this recording, and feel free to share it with any new people who comes in, who you enroll. It's designed to be an effective tool to welcome that a person can easily just start and get plugged into and answer that question. Okay, I'm new, I'm in, what do I do? We start with that one-page welcome layout, and it just walks you through setting the goals, and then we start to partner. So the next step would be that once you share that, get access, they will get you that the 4 pages that I went over. Fill out at least the top part of that so we can figure out what your goals are, like what's your why, and then hold yourself accountable to that sheet and filling it in, and make sure that you're executing above all those equations. Exposure plus education plus execution minus emotions minus explanations will equal enrollments. All right, I'm going to stop the recording for here. Get back with the leader who shared this with you. If you have any questions, get back with the leader and they can answer your questions, or we can collaborate and make sure that you get your questions answered. Again, welcome to MWR. Welcome to the Extra Digit Movement. Again, I want to congratulate you on making a decision and taking action that will be the gift that keeps on giving, and probably one of the best decisions you could have ever made. All right, take care, my friends.